Hi, everyone. Welcome to our second video for our Healthy Over the Holidays wellness challenge that we're doing here in quarter 4, the Maintain, Don't Gain, and everybody else who might be watching. Um, I'm Lyndi Bertman. I'm one of the dietitians here at Northwest, and I really encourage everybody, if you haven't already, to check out the video that Lori put out on our SharePoint and our YouTube page about self-care over the holidays. It's great for the holidays and any time of year, really. There's just some really great tips on there for taking care of yourself and managing stress for this time of year. It was really great. So, what I'm going to focus on, Lori had touched some on healthy eating and just keeping our bodies healthy during the holiday. And I'm going to kind of go over some of that stuff also, just mostly in regards to what we're eating and how we're moving, but really just kind of giving some tips on how to stay healthy and kind of feel our best throughout this time of year. So, one of my big messages is don't ignore your overall health goals. Continue to prioritize yourself and what is important to you for the rest of the year. Sometimes I feel like me personally, we get to this time of the year and there's so many holidays and parties and kids things, and we're just kind of reacting to all this stuff that's coming our way, and it can make it really difficult to not just think like, oh well, things will calm down in the new year, and then I'll start this again or do this. And really, if we can just pick a few things to try to do for the rest of this year, we can help ourselves to not have a lot to atone for in the next couple of months after the holidays are over. So, a couple things to think about would be to choose one or two things to focus on over the winter. So, this probably isn't the time to make any big life-changing decisions, unless it's something you're already working on and that's working for you. Great, but maybe just focusing on a couple of things that are doable for over the winter time, and then maybe kind of building on that for the new year. Enjoy your holiday parties and family meals. That's a super important one. I'm not here to come for anybody's eggnog or pie or stuffing. I think that's all great, and I'm going to have that. And this is just more about kind of making some overall healthy choices, and having a healthy lifestyle in general, and maybe making some different choices on those days where we're having those things happen, like the holiday parties and meals. But really just taking the time to enjoy those kinds of things when we are having them. And then also planning some fun activities that can take the focus off of food so that we can have our great meal and our fun party, but also have some other things to look forward to that aren't just food related. So, a couple of examples of health goals, and I broke one of my own rules with my activity one because I said small and smart. So, do something active every day that's not specific and it's sort of measurable every day, but it's not very specific or measurable. So, if you wanted to be more specific about it, you could say, I'm going to do something for 10 minutes every day, and that's at least a little bit more specific and measurable because you're doing something for 10 minutes. And that gives you the space to be flexible with yourself. So, right now it's not currently raining or snowing outside. And so today could be a day to go for a 10-minute walk, where tomorrow, who knows what's going to happen? It could be terrible. And so that could be a day to find a 10-minute YouTube video to do that's yoga or dance or something like that. So, you can dial it in a little bit more, but maybe having at least kind of a loose game plan. So SMART goals probably should dial back a little bit if somebody isn't familiar with that. So, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So it's really taking something that could be super vague, like I'm going to stay healthy over the holidays. Well, how are you going to do that? What are the steps that you're going to take to actually try to do something healthy? And what is healthy? So what's our metrics that we're using? How are we going to achieve the goal that we've set? So really kind of dialing in and picking a couple of things that are small and smart can kind of help maybe not set ourselves up for something that we're just not going to be able to do right now. So one that is pretty smart would be drink at least 8 cups of water. I'd say 8 cups of water a day. So that could be a goal that we've set the amount, how many, or at the time, and what exactly we're going to do. um, eat 5 fruits and vegetables a day. So that could be either 5 servings of fruit and vegetables a day. That could be 5 different fruits and vegetables a day. That one has a little wiggle room. But these are just some examples of things that you could do where we're not trying to restrict or take anything away, but we're just kind of maybe adding some things that could be good to focus on just to help us feel good throughout this season. So we will be talking about healthy holiday eating. So we'll kind of dive in. And really, my biggest point here was just when it comes to food, drinks, everything that we're eating, drinking, just plan ahead as much as you can. And that's not always going to be possible, but as much as you're able to do that, it can kind of help you to, again, not just be reacting so much to everything, but to kind of have a game plan and make sure that you're not, going too far off of your goals if you do have some goals that you're trying to follow and to get to. So, one good thing to do always is to start your day off with a healthy breakfast. It's good to include fiber and protein. Those are a couple of nutrients that help keep us full and satisfied. Foods that have fiber and protein tend to have some vitamins and minerals that are good for us too. Good to not do a ton of added sugar. So, really starting off with something that's healthy and will keep us feeling good and have a good start to our day. Be sure to keep up on your water intake. That's something I've mentioned twice now, and I think it comes up a couple more times in this presentation. It's a really easy thing that can fall to the wayside. And again, it's not taking anything away. It's just making sure that we're keeping up on something. Um, this time of year, that can be tough. A lot of times when we're talking with people, we hear that they're not drinking as much because it's not as warm out, and there's not that prompt to drink anymore. So it is something that can take a little bit more planning and doing and mindfulness, but trying to make it a priority because it is really important, especially as we go into the colder season. Our bodies do still need a lot of water. And that can be um, basically anything that doesn't have alcohol, caffeine, a lot of added sugar. So that could be the flavored sparkling waters. It could be a nice herbal tea, decaf tea, infused flavored waters, whatever you like, as long as it's a liquid that doesn't have those things in it. um, Another good tip is if you're hosting, try to eat around your usual dinner time. um, I've been doing this a lot more as I've gotten older. One of my best friends, her family always had their holiday meals at noon or 1 o'clock, and then they'd have a second dinner at 5 or 6. And I always thought that was just the most amazing thing and the best idea. But as I've gotten older, that just doesn't feel as good to me. And plus, once you're done with your meal, then you can clean up and put it away and give it away and whatever you want to do. So, kind of sticking to your normal eating pattern, that can kind of help you to not eat too many things that you wouldn't have normally eaten, and really just sit and enjoy that one meal that you're having and really pay attention to it. So, limiting sugary drinks like eggnog, sweet cocktails, apple cider, hot chocolate. Those are a nice thing to have this time of year, but trying to make it just more of a treat and less of a daily kind of thing. And then challenging yourself to try to drink 2 cups of water for every cocktail or sweet drink that you have. That can not only help make sure that you stay hydrated with the beverages that are actually hydrating to you, but also it can kind of help you keep drinking those kinds of things in check. So, especially if you're the hostess, creating a host or hostess, sorry, creating a balanced menu with dishes that include lean protein, fresh fruit and vegetables, in addition to the traditional holiday favorites. It's great to have the green bean casserole and the sweet potatoes and all that kind of yummy stuff. But trying to have some things too where you can get some, again, good, fiber, protein, things that will help fill you up, and not maybe leave you feeling so bogged down if that was all you were eating. Trying to use the same size plate that you'd use. That can also be a tricky one depending on if you're not at your own home. Sometimes people only have the big, like platter size plates available, but as much as you can, trying to just kind of be mindful of how much you're putting on a plate. It's really easy when there's so many different choices. Even if you're taking a small portion of everything, you could still end up with 10 small portions. So it's just one of those things that can kind of help you to maybe not feel so stuffed when you're done. And filling up half your plate with vegetable sides, that can definitely be a tricky one, but especially depending on the size of the plate, you might have an easier time with that if you're doing a smaller plate. But it allows you to have the space to do, the things that maybe aren't so healthy, but get a few healthy things in too, so that at the end of the day, you've gotten in some good nutrients and also had some food that you really enjoy. And it kind of helps you too to really choose some of your favorites and not just kind of take a little of everything. And again, remember to keep sipping. So, again, water, flavored seltzer, anything that is hydrating is a good thing. So, if you don't have some kind of a beverage in your hand, trying to make sure that you have one close by so that you can keep drinking as you remember to throughout the day. So if you're attending an event, taking a dish to share that fits into your plan. So it could be kind of a fun challenge to maybe find something unusual that people don't normally see at a Thanksgiving or another holiday table. Something that's a fruit dish, a vegetable dish, some kind of a protein, but something that makes it so that wherever you go, you'll have something that you can have and that kind of fits in with your goals, but then also maybe other people would enjoy too. And then same thing with, snacks and appetizers. So not just kind of the main dish or the sides, but having things around. You could be the dietitian with the fruit tray that, people are expecting, or the vegetable tray that maybe doesn't get as much love as it should. But stuff like that really can just help you kind of stay on track and maybe not be snacking on the stuff that doesn't make you feel as good. And so at least having it around maybe will help some. Another good tip is eating slowly and checking in with yourself before going for seconds. So, again, if you're hungry and you want seconds, have seconds, but really just kind of making sure that you're still going to feel okay if you have seconds. And one thing that I really liked in Lori's presentation was the hunger and fullness scale. I'm not saying that right, but it's just a really nice scale, kind of like a 1 to 10 of like how hungry or how full am I right now, and kind of going over how we should be avoiding the very hungry and avoiding the very full, but kind of finding somewhere comfortable in the middle. Um, and I think we can all still have the foods that we like without having to be in the super full category. And sending leftovers home with guests. That's always a nice one. If you're the one who's hosting the celebration, also if you are a guest, maybe not taking some of the leftovers that you don't absolutely love. Really, just kind of picking your battles when it comes to the treats and things like that that we're eating this time of year. So one holiday tip that I found that I really liked when I was doing some research for this was not just for the actual holidays themselves, but the time around the holidays. Again, we're so busy. Not only do we have work, a lot of us, but also we're getting our homes ready, we're shopping, we're decorating, we're wrapping, we're cooking and baking. And there's just so much going on that sometimes, we just don't think about what we're going to do until it's like, oh, it's time to eat, and I don't have anything. So to kind of avoid making choices that maybe we wouldn't normally make around those kinds of things, eating before you leave your house when you're going to go somewhere like shopping, packing snacks, making sure you pack water, of course. If you're meeting someone for a meal, or if you have to swing by a restaurant to get something because you're hungry and didn't bring something, maybe checking out the restaurant menu and making sure that it's going to be a place that has something that you actually want to eat and that's going to make you feel good. Um, and then a really tough one for me, especially, is avoiding frequent tasting and grazing while you're cooking. That's something that can be really tough because we do want to make sure that everything tastes good, that we're going to be serving people, but maybe trying to stay away from the rest of the snacks while we're doing that, so that by the time we get to the meal, we can really sit and enjoy it instead of already being kind of half full to where we're not going to really be present and really appreciating that meal that we probably spent a lot of time making, or at least making some dish for. So don't forget to move. So that's one of the things that, again, if you don't have a physical activity regimen that you follow, it might not be the exact time of year to really start something serious like that. But Even if you don't have something and don't have a ton of time, it can even just be, again, as simple as, trying to do something for 10 minutes a day. You can try something one day. If you don't like it, try something else the next day. Just trying to do something where you're getting moving a little bit so that you can just kind of keep the blood flowing. Even a short walk or some stretching exercises can help with blood sugar management and keep our energy levels at a good spot. So trying to, even do something fun with family and friends like sledding or, some other winter activity. And then another thing that I liked was I found some really good activities that can kind of take the focus off of food so that eating is not the only event of the day. So, we can have our meal and enjoy that, but then have some other stuff planned too so that there's not just, the letdown when the meal's over. We can keep things fun. So one thing that I liked was asking guests to bring a favorite photo album and then display a few of your own. So, looking at family pictures, kind of bringing up old memories, starting conversations is just kind of a nice way to get people talking and something fun to do that doesn't really take a lot of equipment or anything. Another kind of along the same lines is planning an icebreaker activity. So there's a lot of different icebreakers out there. One of the traditional ones around the holidays is having guests say what they're thankful for. There's a lot of different, games and things like that that you can do. If you Google it, there are some really fun and interesting ones. So kind of depending on the group that you have, age wise and stuff like that, there might be some other really really fun ones that your family hasn't done before. So, some more activities, if conditions are safe, getting family, friends, whoever together for a walk, a hike, some other kind of outdoor game. There's especially when the weather isn't too terrible, like we have right at this moment when I'm recording, there's nothing super bad going on. So, this would be a nice time to go for a walk. Again, who knows what will happen tomorrow, but kind of trying to take advantage when you do have that opportunity and trying to get outdoors and do something can be nice. Plan a holiday craft to do with kids, grandkids, or just friends can be really fun. There's a lot of things that you can find again online or at craft stores. Like you can do homemade ornaments. There are some food-based ones like cookie decorating. There's a lot of different things, especially geared toward the holidays, that we can do craft-wise that you can do without even necessarily a ton of special equipment. So that's a nice thing to look for. Um, I like this idea of a treasure hunt. I saw a couple different ones that people did. Kind of like an indoor Easter egg hunt. You could hide miniature pumpkins or little stocking stuffers around the house, and people can hunt for them. And so it's just kind of a cute, fun thing to do that gets people up and moving and can just kind of add to the festivities. Holiday movie marathon. We've talked a lot about kind of getting active and doing things outside and trying to get moving, but sometimes you just want to sit and relax and just enjoy some time where there's not a lot going on and people can just kind of be together. And so holiday movies can be a really great opportunity for that. There's a lot of different movies out there. And so just kind of picking your family's favorites and or maybe finding one that you like that somebody else hasn't seen before, and just kind of enjoying that time together and letting yourself kind of relax. When Then I saw that I personally would never partake in because it wouldn't be nice for anybody else, but holiday music karaoke. There's some fun apps that you can find. There's YouTube videos, different ways that you can do that where you don't really have to have any equipment or anything special, but that can be a fun and funny one to do. A photo session. So, kids, grandkids, I mean, anybody really, that could be a craft idea too, would be to make some holiday themed props like masks and hats and stuff like that. And, do a photo session, make a backdrop or go outside. Any of those things can be a fun way to just get some nice holiday pictures that might be a little bit different than what we normally do. Some other activities I saw for this time of year, make a list of New Year's resolutions. So that's something that a lot of people start to think about this time of year. And so it can be something where you can kind of sit around and brainstorm, trying to find ideas of things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of on your own. Um, you can organize, of course, a game of cards, board games, puzzles. Those are all really great things to do when the weather's not great and you've got people around to do that together. So, again, a lot of different choices for those kinds of things. And they just make a nice way to spend time together where you're not having to, necessarily have a ton of other stuff going on. And sitting and writing thank you letters to family, to friends. Kids can write letters to Santa for, gifts that they've got. I just thought this was a really nice idea. If you're somebody who does send thank you cards, or if you're someone who's never sent a thank you card before, it can just be a nice way to kind of really sit and think about what we're grateful for and maybe take that chance to tell somebody. So this is just some of the different things that we can do outside, inside, some kind of fun holiday stuff. So a couple of the big takeaways, really enjoy your holiday celebrations. They're important. They only come once a year. And it's just, especially, we don't necessarily always get to see family and friends that we see at the holiday season. So really take the time and be present and enjoy that. But also don't put off good health until the new year. Try and stick to or set a few small goals to help keep you feeling good throughout the rest of this year that we're in. And take care. If you haven't already, really check out Lori's presentation on self care for the holidays. I feel like everybody could get something from that, and can really help you to get through the season and take care of yourself and not be too stressed. So happy holidays, everybody.